Welcome into New Orleans Saints Now. I'm your host, Trace Gerard, and we got a busy show for you today. We're going to be talking, could Jimmy G be headed to New Orleans? Melvin Gordon was recently released. Darrell Henderson was also recently waived. Could the Saints and Mickey Loomis get pretty active during the offseason and free agency? It's a loaded show, but before we get started, guys, I'll have to know, it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. So what's you guys' favorite, or you guys, what am I, from New York? What is y'all's favorite Thanksgiving food? I'm a huge stuffing guy. My mom makes probably the best mac and cheese in the whole wide world. I'm excited to have some of that scarfed down. So let me know, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food down in the comment section. So to get started on today's show, we're going to be talking about Jimmy G to New Orleans. And what is Jimmy G's future? Jimmy G has been playing some of his best football of his entire career, especially these last 4 games and this season as a whole. And in honesty, I was a very, very far out on the Jimmy G train. This offseason, I was like, nah, don't get him out here. He's a fraud. I don't really want him. They're going to be rolling with the Niners are going to be rolling with Trey Lance, and we're going to finally see the 49ers offense be what it should be with a quality quarterback. However, we're seeing that with Jimmy Garoppolo. He's been doing some good, phenomenal things this year. And it's really not that crazy of a concept to get Jimmy Garoppolo out of San Francisco, because I'm not entirely sure that Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers are sold on Trey Lance, because I sure as hell am not. I haven't seen enough from Trey Lance. He's only had so many limited starts, and not just the NFL, but in his short college career, there hasn't been enough tape on him to see whether or not he is the real deal. And that's why maybe the 49ers could keep Jimmy Garoppolo this season and even next season. But if Jimmy G were to go on the move, here's some destinations that I cooked up that I could see maybe being interested on him. New York Jets. Zach Wilson ain't it. And it's showing more and more every week that they don't really need him. He's actually even got benched this week. Robert Saleh saying that he's going to go with Joe Flacco as their starting quarterback this week. Houston Texans. Davis Mills, obviously he isn't the guy. Las Vegas Raiders, are they out on Derek Carr? I don't know. The Saints, for very obvious reasons. Washington Commanders, Carson Wentz ain't that. Taylor Heineke is the dog. That's Taylor Heineke's team, but he's not really a franchise quarterback. Could Washington look to add Jimmy Garoppolo to their roster to help make that a better team? Because it's not a bad roster, let's be honest. But some other teams to maybe be able to look out for as well. The Seattle Seahawks. Are they good with Geno Smith? If you ask me, I think Seattle rolls with Geno Smith next year, takes a quarterback in the draft. I have been very excited, very impressed from Geno Smith this entire year. Indianapolis Colts, Matt Ryan's getting old. Sam Ehlinger ain't that guy. Pittsburgh Steelers, is Kenny Pickett really that good? I don't know. But do they want to have somebody come in and maybe help develop the young quarterback out of Pitt? Mitch Trubisky, he really hasn't done it too much for Pittsburgh, so maybe the Steelers could go after Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady's on his way out. He's old. He's going to retire eventually, maybe at the age of 75. But until he does, the Bucs are going to be at least in the rumors for a quarterback in the offseason. So I have to ask you guys this. Would you sign Jimmy Garoppolo? Take advantage of the ad break here if you get hit with the ad break, and let us know. Type S for sign, type P for pass on whether or not you would sign Jimmy Garoppolo this offseason. And guys, I have a big milestone I really want us to hit. My 24th birthday is coming up here on December 15th. We are at 9,515 subscribers. Can we hit 10K by my birthday? It would be the best present in the whole wide world to me. I'll have an absolute party on that video for my birthday. Start it off with some shots or something fun. But guys, we got to hit the 10K by December 15th. Subscribe for Saints news, rumors, updates, all sorts of fun Saints interactive content from a Saints fan for Saints fans. So be sure to go down and subscribe today. All right, in the next news, Melvin Gordon was actually released in they're cut from the Denver Broncos, which is pretty interesting considering that the Broncos brought in Latavius Murray off the Saints practice squad, and I guess that was the right move for Latavius Murray, and now he's the running back one because Melvin Gordon's out. Ian Rappaport was the one who broke this down yesterday. He said the Broncos have made a move following Sunday's loss as Denver has waived veteran running back Melvin Gordon. A respected player who spent 3 years with the Broncos, Gordon's fumbles proved too much and a fresh start for all parties. And the thought here is, for me, the Saints have needed running back depth all year. Mark Ingram, he's good. He's old. Dwayne Washington, he's your special teams guy. He doesn't get a lot of touches on the ground. But fumbles are a massive issue. Turnovers are the biggest killer outside of penalties for this team. New Orleans has had a horrible habit all offseason with turnovers and giveaways on just the dumbest little things, and it's just an absolute joke, and it's so frustrating. And I'm going to get into more thoughts here, but I've got to tell you guys about this awesome new sponsor we have here at Saints Now. It's Established Titles. They're a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands in Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land and a unique plot number on a private estate in Eddleton, Scotland, which we're flying over right now, and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles, and even more. And it's a great last-minute gift, especially for your Game of Thrones friends out there. This is the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot, within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a lord or lady, we can build our own little Saints Now kingdom in Eddleston, Scotland, and it would be awesome. It makes an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually running a massive holiday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. If you use code CHAT to get you'll get an additional 10% off. So go to establishedtitles.com and /chat. Use promo code CHAT. Get the extra 10% off. It's an awesome deal. I'm getting one for my dad. I cannot wait to see his facial expressions and his reaction when he finds out he is Lord Steve Gerrard. It's going to be hilarious. Go check him out, establishedtitles.com/chat. All right, now to take a look at what Melvin Gordon has done this season. In 90 carries, the veteran running back has only managed to rack up 318 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 5 fumbles, and that comes with a pretty weak and pretty lame Broncos offense. Russell Wilson not commanding it all that well. You would really like to see him do a little bit more, and this is what the Saints running back production looks like this season. Alvin Kamara, your running back, 124 carries, 511 yards, and just 1 touchdown on the ground. Mark Ingram, 51 carries, 196 yards, 1 touchdown on the ground. Dwayne Washington, 11 carries, 38 yards, 0 touchdowns on the ground. But another thing about Alvin Kamara, at least he brings pass catchability. He has 43 receptions, 385 yards with 2 touchdowns on in the air. And so it's one of those things. Do you need a running back 1? No. But do you need a running back 2? Honestly, I think you do. You have to be realistic. As a Saints fan, you have to be realistic with this offseason. Mark Ingram will forever be a Saints legend. He will forever have his name tied to the Superdome, tied to the black and gold as an absolute legend and as one of the best to ever do it, repping the black and gold. But he's not in his prime anymore. He's getting old. He's banged up. He's fumbling the ball. And that's not to knock him whatsoever. It's just you got to look at what's going on. There's young, fresh blood that's out there. The Saints maybe need to go get that, especially considering Alvin Kamara is likely facing a suspension next season. You're going to need a running back 1, and I don't necessarily know if I trust Mark Ingram to take running back 1 snaps. Running back 2, sure, but I'm not entirely sure on running back 1. But if you guys had to pick one, let me know. Type MG for Melvin Gordon and type DH for Darrell Henderson. And you guys might be asking, why is Darrell Henderson on here? We haven't even mentioned him. Well, it's because Darrell Henderson was actually waived by the Los Angeles Rams following the Saints just absolutely rocking him and having no rush game whatsoever. It was hilarious. And honestly, Darrell Henderson didn't even seem too upset about it. Here's what he tweeted. He did the glass emoji and praise God, I'm out of there. I wouldn't be too mad about leaving LA either. That's just me. I wouldn't want to go play for a fraudulent football team, let alone a team that moves and comes back and moves, and you're also in LA. It's whatever. But Darrell Henderson, he's waived. A little bit more about him. He's 25 years old. He's young. He's a hungry guy. 2019 third-round pick, went to Memphis. We have mentioned him on the channel in previous videos. I talked about him in the offseason, pretty good detail, and especially up to the trade deadline, considering the Rams were looking to maybe shop away one of their running backs. I said Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson. Those are probably guys you might want to take a look at. And Darrell Henderson this year has done all right. He's had some split touches. He hasn't done too much, and I can see why that this Rams would want to move on from him. But in 70 carries, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an average of 4 on the dot. But his career stats, that's where it's really impressive. 396 yards, 396 carries, 1,700 yards, 13 touchdowns, and an average of 4.4 yards per carry. It's just an awesome character that you might want to add. Somebody who brings pass catch ability as well. Somebody who can move the ball and help take some snaps off of Mark Ingram if he's still around next season. Alvin Kamara, if he has to face suspension, you can have him take those snaps and replace him. But I'm not sure, is Melvin Gordon, who has a lot of fumbling issues, Darrell Henderson is a little bit younger and hasn't been so consistent. Which running back is the better option? If you ask me, I'm going to run with Darrell Henderson, and that's why I would have typed my DH in the previous weigh-in. But we're not past that. We're at the end of the video, and I have to get the gauge from the Dat Nation. If you are subscribed and you made it this far in the video, type real one. I'm going to be giving shout-outs to some of y'all who type it, so please go drop a like, comment, share the video, subscribe, do all the fun things. And Dat Nation, y'all stay golden. I'll catch you next time.